Welcome to Wedding Day Podcast with your host, Sonja Babich, CEO of Iron Diamond Media, a leading wedding resource featuring 7 localized wedding brands across the country.
Hi everybody, Sonja here with Wedding Day Podcast. We are at the Grand Hyatt in downtown Seattle. My co-host today is Alexis.
Hi everybody.
Yay! We are sitting here with one of our great friends and members of the year for Washington Wedding Day, Jeff and Patti with Parties on the Terrace. And you're all going to fall in love with them, and we're so excited for you all to meet them. So hi guys!
Hello. Thanks for coming today. We're so excited to chat with you guys.
It was one of my top ones. I'm like, we have to have them on the podcast.
Yes.
That was nice.
Yeah.
You've been after us for a couple years.
I know.
Or since you started.
Yeah, exactly. Glad it all worked out. But I think the whole audience and everybody just needs to hear the story how Parties on the Terrace started. So I'm going to pass the torch. How did you guys decide let's have a wedding venue?
Well, we purchased the property in 2015, and it's a 5-acre parcel, and it came with a 3,000 square foot outbuilding. I had no idea what we would be doing with the building, but I knew that I wanted to have a lush garden with flowers that I could cut and have flowers in my house throughout the year. And it was different than that. Yes, we still have a cutting garden, but Jeff had some other ideas of what we could do with our outbuilding.
Yeah, when we first started, I had worked in Highline Automobiles, and so that building afforded the opportunity to build a storage facility.
Okay.
So we actually stored high performance cars in there. So we remodeled it within the first 6-8 months of moving in, and then we filled it slowly over probably 3 or 4 months. We had up to 15 cars. So we ran a car storage business.
Okay.
And then we got this idea we wanted to start remodeling our backyard for us.
I wanted to start the garden.
She wanted to start the garden, and we're like,
We
okay.
have the fun, start cars, start the garden.
Yeah. And so it was a fun experience because people that had cars, they could come get the car, they had a code, they could come park in our driveway, go drive around the countryside, come back, park the car, or I'd park it for them, and off they went. And so one day, this guy came with his wife, and she's like, oh, you guys are doing something in your backyard. We're like, yeah. So we showed her what we were doing, and she said, I should have my 50th here. You guys should have weddings here. And we're like, what? Huh? And so that night, over a glass of wine, we're walking around the yard. We're like, what's the wedding industry look like?
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
We kind of
What
just
a question.
changed.
What does that
we just
look
changed
like?
it.
Yeah.
So you're like, get your cars out of my
We did. We started remodeling, doing all the stuff, and then I told them, this is the last day, and I introduced them to another car storage facility where they all moved to.
Yeah.
And
He
then
took very good care
Yes,
of them.
of course.
the chandeliers went up, and here we are. So
Yeah, it was really fun because we were new to the wedding industry, didn't know much about it, and we also knew that we were in a residential space.
Right.
So at first I thought we just needed to get a business license and be up and running. And then some people were like, oh, so how's the permitting coming along? Like, the permitting with who? What do you mean? What do we need to do? So we learned a lot about county permitting. The whole process, the application process, the plans that need to be done, how we purchased the place, and some of the things, the renovations were done without approval, county approval. So we needed to kind of back it up and make sure that everything that was on the property was legal. So that started with, this vision of, oh, we're so excited to get into the wedding industry, and we had to take all these steps back to say, okay, wait a minute, what does this really mean for us? So there were late nights, there were tears, there were frustrating moments, but we still knew what we wanted to do. And so we did get the right things in place.
Yep.
It took several years to finally get there.
It was a journey. For sure.
It was a journey. Yeah. And then COVID hit. So we were so excited to open, and COVID hit.
The C word.
The C word.
Yeah.
We knew
Our
about the
first-
C word.
Our first guest wedding, she signed up in January of 19. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot to still do. She's walking around in rubber boots in the mud.
Right.
She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do it. I'm
She
like,
could see
great.
it.
When are you
could.
when
She
do you
could
want
see
your
it.
wedding? And she's like, May.
Yeah.
Of 2018?
Yeah. And so we finished it. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was
that
a
must
big,
have
big
been-
But
journey.
it probably put a little like
It did.
Fire.
fire.
Yeah.
Like, let's get it done.
You had no
Yes.
choice.
Yeah,
You had no
I mean,
choice.
at that point, you really did have to like,
Yeah.
okay, we gotta
Yeah.
finish it.
But it was so exciting though because we just couldn't wait to have a group of people on our property.
Yeah.
And to see how they wanted to decorate it, because we wanted to create a space that is a blank canvas, but also has a lot to it already. That you don't have to do a lot to it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun to look at, okay, what kind of shades of green can we add, and let's make sure that there's no like one color that pops because we don't know the color palette of our couples.
Right.
So we went with more neutrals and ivories and whites and hydrangeas and that kind of thing. And we knew that we had a couple that was coming, and we were just so delighted to finally share our space with somebody because we
Right.
had been drawing out. You should see we have these big pads of paper and these like drawings of these terraces, and yeah, we should talk about our terraces.
Yeah. And tell us about parties on the terrace.
Yeah.
So we have 4 terraces plus the grand lawn, and they're all named after the reason we named them Parties on the Terraces. I proposed in Italy, so everywhere in the Amalfi coast was terraces.
Yeah.
So we were sitting up one night figuring out names, so we came up with Parties on the Terrace, and then we named each of our terraces after the hotels that we visited.
I
And it
love
has
that.
like just a magical
So
Yeah.
if you're ever interested to know about the hotels, look up our terraces, and then you can go to their websites and look them up.
Amalfi Coast, it was
Unbelievable.
lovely.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unbelievable.
started in Ravello and worked our way over to
Started
Capri.
in Portofino.
Well, the whole thing started, but he proposed in Ravello, which was
Yes,
amazing.
proposed in Ravello.
Yeah, and so
I love
yeah.
your guys' story.
Yeah, so but yeah, that's what we have is a book full of these like drawings of terraces, and it's page after page, and we'd sit on the terraces with our lawn chair and our cup of coffee and sit down. We're like, it needs to be bigger.
Yeah. We need this over
They
here.
did, yeah. Called the landscaper up. Hey Ryan,
Yep,
the terrace isn't big enough. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, it's not big enough. You need to make it bigger.
yep.
Okay.
I
And
won't
we
say
came back
no.
and made it bigger.
Yep.
So
But it was really fun because we were kind of would walk the property and think about, well, what would we want if it were our
Right.
special day?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, we need to have a place for the couples to get ready, and so the shed that we bought, we was no longer going to have the riding lawnmower in it. It became fully like finished with
Yeah.
trim even around the windows, and we don't have trim around our windows in our house. Like we were building this place that was
Yeah.
even nicer than our like living space. But it was so fun to decorate it and to meet with an interior designer and get some ideas and thumb through those magazines, and like I love to daydream about it and to try to envision the day. And
well, one thing Patty did when the shed was
Transfer
put up, but it wasn't finished inside.
Yeah.
So she had a wedding day. No, she had a makeup artist and hair day.
Yep.
She invited these people out, these women out, and they
Yep.
all sat and had champagne. And she asked them questions. If this was your space, how do you want it set up?
Oh, good job. I love
Yes.
it. Did that.
So she built it, and then she had them back out. And they're like,
so they
oh
could
my
see
gosh,
it.
you did exactly what you
Yeah.
said.
Oh.
That was cool.
Because we're new to the wedding industry.
Yeah.
So, we had toured some places after we knew that we were going to go down this path. And so we would go to venues and look at what they had and kind of pick
Yeah.
out the things that we really liked. And like, okay, we do something like that at our place. But for that space, yeah, I didn't know. And so, we had 2 different makeup artists come and hair stylists. And they said lots of natural light
Yeah.
and make it climate controlled,
Yeah.
because you don't know about the weather, and if it's super hot you don't want to melt. You need to have a place for the mom to sit, and lots of mirrors and
chargers.
outlets.
Yeah.
And
Lots of outlets. Yeah.
lots of outlets, Bluetooth speaker
Yeah.
to make sure that
Oh, yeah, they can jam
can
out
listen
like
to
already.
Champagne. Oh yeah. Okay.
cubbies, a fridge to make sure that you can stock it with water.
And Prosecco.
Yes.
That happens occasionally.
But the interesting thing was to have a lower chair for hair and then higher ones for makeup. And I would have never thought that.
Right.
And so we did that. It was so fun to pick out what's that one chair going to look like. So I have a really pretty pink chair. And then I have these gray stools that are all velvety. And
Yeah.
so that was really fun. But you're right. Yeah, it was fun to bring them back out.
Yep.
And they're
That's
like,
cool.
wow, including the interior designers who we
Yeah.
had met with to pick out like the mirrors and all those special touches, and they were just brought to tears. And then we were like in puddles because we were just.
I was not there. I was not there.
It was a girl's day.
Yeah, but I was like, thank you, you know, for inspiring us for this.
Do you guys still walk around and see like, oh, we still want to change this, or I want to make this better, or are you in a place now where you're like, this is it?
We divide and conquer. So I tell people I'm the maintenance guy. I'm always out in the yard, and I'm always changing or modifying or fixing something. It's nonstop. It's not a huge yard, but it's big.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
It's beautiful.
And there's always something happening. You know, we have this 4-foot. On our website, you'll see that big chandelier that hangs from the tree. And you've been there.
Yeah.
So, and that was that just was something that, because of the theme of the chandeliers.
Yeah.
We were like, something in the woods would be kind of fun.
And it is.
So yeah, we found that. I found that first.
That's right.
And I sent her a picture.
She's crediting you.
I sent her a picture of it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this thing. This is perfect, because you couldn't find a chandelier that big.
Yeah.
And then I saw
scale,
the price. I'm like, there's no way we're paying that much money to hang it out in the woods.
Yeah.
It's like a year went by, and she texts me a picture of the thing. She's like, check this chandelier out. And I'm going, that's the same chandelier that I found.
I found it first. Was it on sale?
She
Yes,
goes, but
then it was on sale.
this
Like
time
half
she
off.
goes, no, she goes, it's $400. I go, buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I spent 30 hours rewiring it
Yeah,
and
trying to
getting all
hang
the
it.
stuff and putting it up, but it's kind of, I put it on a winch so you can raise it up and down, you can decorate it and stuff. So
Yeah.
but it's kind of like our signature.
It's
thing
such
up
a great
against
like
the
focal
woods.
point.
Okay, so you
In
did
your
wedding
space.
May of 2019,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you took a break because of the
Had
C
to.
word. Yep.
Good,
Yeah.
And then we
Because
pull
of the
back
C word.
2021, right?
Yeah, and you know the thing that was great was when we were home during that phase, during the C phase, we could really get to like be in the property though, because we could watch like where the sun really moved, where were the shade areas, where were the sun areas. It just, again, I was the dreamy one, and I'm like, okay, let's add a fountain over here, and this is nice and shade, so let's get let's get some more ferns and that kind of thing, and hostas, and but yeah, I think what was great was because of the pent up demand, then we had all these couples ready, right? Because people had seen our place in 2019, and they were going to have 2020 weddings, and so we already had a nice set of business. And then when they couldn't have it, then some people postponed to either 2022. Some people waited, and others did do that. But we're like, oh wow, this is amazing.
Well, it was funny to see they all showed up. They're like, oh, we're married already.
Yeah.
So they were just going through
Yeah.
the motions. They were the fastest ceremonies I've ever seen. It was like 5 minutes was long.
I love you. I loved you for a whole year.
And then they like pop, and then they just start
Have the party.
have the
Party.
party.
Yeah.
Parties
So-
on the terrace.
It was funny.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, a lot were married.
A lot of them were, and many of them were pregnant.
Oh.
So
True.
COVID
Yeah.
babies.
Yeah,
That's yep.
that's true.
That's funny.
But it is kind of fun though when we think about it. That is kind of a trend. It didn't just happen during that time period, but there are people that have already started their families and they already have a child, or they're on their way. And we stay in touch with a lot of our couples, and it's fun to watch them on like Instagram and like having their first day of school with their kids, and just like reaching out, happy anniversary, and like career changes, or they move places, and that's one of the perks is that relationship that we get to build with our couples, because we're one of the first things that couples will search for after they get engaged, like where we're going to get married. And so we have most of our inquiries are coming from couples themselves. And that's what's really exciting is to be a part of that journey with them, to help them build their dream team for the day. And
it takes a team.
Okay, let's peel back the banana a little bit more about the venue now. Okay, so how many people can you accommodate?
80 to 100. 80 to 100 is
Comfortable.
Yeah, you're known for your more intimate weddings.
Yeah. We have been known for that.
Yeah, you are known for that.
I look at him, I kind of pause just because there have been, some folks that wanted to do like 120, 125, and you get to meet the folks and you're like, well, we have enough chairs and everything, but because really the venue does shine when you have like that sweet spot's like 75, because you really get to feel the space. You can take advantage of those nooks that we have throughout the property, have that private moment, take a breath if you need to. It's not overcrowded, but it also doesn't feel too vacuous of a space.
Yeah.
And we also have like sheer curtains on the inside that we can close to kind of make it feel a little bit more intimate as well, if depending upon how they want to lay things out.
And also the certain areas with 75 to 80 people, you can get married in really different areas of the venue. We do not have like a designated ceremony spot.
Right.
We never put one up, so it affords everyone's imagination to figure out what they really want. And it's cool.
It's so rare. It's just so rare, you guys, because a lot of people want the well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
This is where you get married, and this is where the cocktail is, and this is where the reception. But it's getting better with a little bit.
I was gonna say, I don't know if that's what people want, or if that's just sort of like the industry standard, and so it's what people are used to more. Because I think a lot of times people walk into a space and they want to be like, "What if I wanted to do this?"
Yeah.
And then people are like, "No, we don't do that."
But that conversation happens.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely does. But there are times they're like, well, can you tell me how people set up? So they'll ask, and then they come up with their own unique ideas, which is really fun to watch how they decorate it. Because there's times I'll be doing something and I'll walk around the corner and I'm like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. That's how I always felt too when I ran the club. I'm like, I was a little worried about this color combination. This turned out good. It makes sense.
Yeah, it was, so it's fun to. That I think is my favorite part, is to see it when it's all decorated right after, right before everything happens.
Yeah, but it is interesting because while we want to show the flexibility, we also don't want to overwhelm the couples.
Yeah,
and a lot of times there's like one person of the couple that's like totally in it, and the other one's like really overwhelmed and just can't really be bothered by the details. And so we kind of walk around. So what we do is we actually have a sheet that we give our couples, and we have QR codes that are for each of the terraces, and then we show how people have
here's some options.
So, you could, because if you just verbalize it, it's hard for people to picture it.
Everyone is visual, I feel like. Yeah. A good picture helps everybody.
Yes. So as we go along, they scan and then they can see, then they can scroll through and, and it's on their phone, and they get to take that with them too, and they can continue to kind of think about what they want. But it's fun to show what has been done and then share some like things that happened because they set it up this way. It afforded them to do, like there was a gentleman who, fabulous, Trevor Owens, he ended up standing on one of the big boulders we have, and he was playing his violin.
Yeah.
Really and it was cool. Like, oh, I love that. So I share that with couples, and then it kind of sparks more ideas for them of like, oh, we could have a violinist. Oh, what should we do during cocktail hour? It just kind of like gets the ball snowballing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I'm so excited for them. I don't want to talk about it right now, but I think there's somebody getting married, and I think your venue is going to be like perfectly on point with some upcoming trends. That makes me excited for you.
She's like, what are we talking about?
Taylor Swift.
Oh, yes.
With your flowers and maybe engagements too could happen at parties on the terrace. I'm just putting that out there just because of you could.
Very true. It's that vibe from her engagement photos, like
that's you guys. So I'm just painting the picture for our viewers, and who knows when this will be published, but it could be after the fact, but hopefully before. But
yes, engagements could happen, absolutely.
And we had an anniversary.
Yeah.
They came out.
Oh, did
and they set up a table in the middle of the grand lawn, and
of course they just emailed you and said, "Can we do this?" And you of course said yes.
Yes, of course.
Because that's what you guys do.
It was really fun. They just sat out there and.
Okay, we need to talk about like the details. Cause, we did a style shoot, and I heard that Patti would literally walk around and start plucking leaves from trees if it didn't look good or off the ground.
Well, here's the thing. The photo shoot is meant to portray a certain time of the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yet, oftentimes it doesn't coincide
with the
actual
year.
season that it is photographed.
Yeah.
So it was like last day of October or very end of October. Leaves have already started to change. We have maple trees, and so
Yeah,
we have a
they're
lot
so
of
pretty.
leaves that fall. There was a windstorm the
It
weekend
rained.
prior to the photo shoots.
And it rained.
And it rained the whole time
The whole
during
time?
the shoot.
Yeah.
The whole time.
The whole time.
The whole time. Yeah. But we had leaves that were changing, like in our laurels, you know, there's some that are turning brown and like turned the wrong way, or there was a leaf on
A
the
leaf
ground.
turned the wrong way.
Yeah. And so we're like, you know, I would see what the angle was. I'm like, hold on. And I run over and we would like pluck the dirty one, not dirty, but the
This
dead
is
ones.
when Laura
Yeah.
and Jesse fell in love with Patti.
Well, 'cause-
Details.
Yeah, and
Details.
details matter. And then I did see that in one of the pictures there
We
was
saw.
a leaf on the ground that was brown. It was this maple leaf. I'm like, dang it! I didn't know
You
they were
missed
gonna
one.
take that shot. I think I was like around the
I
corner
think it
or
was left
something.
there on purpose to see if you noticed.
Yeah, and I remember when Laura saw me, she's like, well, there's one photo, and I found it immediately. I'm like, dang it! I didn't know you were going to use that picture.
But that shoot was so beautiful.
It was so beautiful.
yeah.
That turned out
Yeah,
great.
that team was wonderful. We also loved doing the shoot with the all the
cakes.
different cakes.
Yes, that was a fun day.
That was really,
Yeah.
really cool.
Can't remember, did it rain that day too?
It rained in the beginning of the day, then the sun came out.
Okay, guys, we are in Seattle. Like she did.
We luck out though. We have lucked out. We've only had like 3 weddings that it rained.
Really?
Only 3.
Only
And
3.
it rained.
That means they're gonna be loaded.
It definitely rained.
But you know what the nice thing about our venue is that we have the banquetto. We have
Yeah.
that indoor space.
Yeah.
So, you know, we were able to pivot pretty quickly. The one that was on your birthday, we were able to
Yep.
pivot to be able to use our covered patio for a portion
Right.
of it. And then have the front space, I mentioned those sheer curtains. We had that front area as like their welcome area.
Yeah.
And then we set up the covered patio for the ceremony. And then we just leveraged our white hydrangeas as their backdrop.
Yeah.
And they were the most beautiful photos, also
Yeah.
because it brought out all the green and the lush from
Yeah.
the rain. And so people still felt like they were outside.
Yeah.
Because they were, you know, it was the covered area.
Yeah.
And then we were able to kind of hide because we have accordion doors that open up to our covered patio, and then you get the vista of the grand lawn. And we were able to put like white little dividers up so that we had the inside all set for the reception, but
Yeah.
people couldn't see it.
Yeah,
we got
And then
good.
we revealed it. So yes, it does rain in Seattle.
Yeah.
Totally get that.
In
And
the
we have
Pacific
Plan B.
Northwest, yes. Yeah.
It happens everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, it does. Everybody has a plan B and C and D and
Oh,
B
yeah.
and D. Hopefully that was alphabetical order.
But you don't need a tent, you know,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about the renting of that and what's
Yeah.
tiled.
But one of my favorite that it did rain on, and they stood out there with umbrellas,
Yeah.
and just
Got married in the rain.
everyone
Yeah.
stood
Yeah,
out
that's
in the
right.
rain. I
Yeah.
was like, this was really, really cool. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
and I
neat.
was there too.
Yeah.
Aw.
And the bride and groom, I don't know if they had umbrellas. I can't remember if they did. I think they just were standing up there
Standing,
like, just
yeah.
I
embraced
think rain
it.
is so romantic.
it was really
actually.
cool.
And
Yeah.
nobody leaves on a rainy day because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I love rainy weddings because you don't have to go to a bonfire. There's no other party that you need to get to. Like, might as well have fun at this wedding, right?
Our fires are always lit. They're gas. we do have 2 of them. We
Oh,
have
do
2
you?
fire pits,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
So-
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
into the fire. I'm into the chandelier.
Okay,
Oh, he was
so-
into that chandelier.
If I had to tell, so last question, why your venue stands alone. I already have an answer, but like your venue stands apart from other venues, and again, it's very intimate venue. What would you tell them why they should get married at parties on the terrace?
Because of the care and the thought and the love that goes into the property, and
It's our backyard.
yeah,
I mean, it's our home.
it's special, and we treat the couples and their guests and their loved ones like family.
Yeah.
And you know, we are very visible on the day of. We make sure things run very smoothly, and you know, we've got to the point where you kind of anticipate what's going to happen next. Like if you see somebody with their drink and there's like nowhere to put the drink, and they sit down, it's like, let's bring over the table. You know,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, thank you. You know, there's just the details that we have learned over the 5 years of hosting weddings that we know what we would like and what makes things feel special, that we
That's.
Pass
I
that
think
on to
that's the number one
couples,
thing
yeah.
is would we get married here?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
our inspiration was Italy. So
Yeah.
would we get married here? And if we can say yes, then I think we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I could just talk forever. That's what Dan's like, we gotta go. We gotta go. Well, thank you guys for being
Thank
on the
you.
podcast and
Thank
just
you.
being cheerleaders and friends and all the things. So
Yeah.
thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
for having us.
Yeah, thank you for being
Appreciate
here.
it.
All right, we'll see you next time on Wedding Day Podcast. See you. Bye.
Bye.